Good evening. The meeting is called to order at 4:30 p.m. Mrs. Weber, please conduct a roll call to establish quorum.
Clerk Hills.
Here.
Member Kelly.
Here.
Member Malczewski.
Here.
President Perry.
Here?
And Member Morgan has yet to arrive.
Yes. Thank you. Mr. Dixon, are there any changes to the agenda?
Yes, staff has received a request from a board member to pull item 11B regarding a resolution that allows the execution and delivery of certificates of participation. If pulling item 11B is of interest to the board, we would just need a motion to approve the agenda as amended with the removal of item 11B.
Motion to approve the agenda with the elimination of item 11B.
Why are we pulling the item?
It was a request of one of the board members.
Okay, so I don't know the reason. I'm sure there's a good one, but I think I would just like to recommend that we don't do this because there's probably students coming tonight who want to talk about the COP. And it's really terrible weather, and like we're drawing people here who think that this is going to be on the agenda because they're very interested in sustainability, and then it's not on the agenda. So I think it's not a great practice. I would recommend we not do that, but maybe there's a good reason for it.
There are new members that aren't really familiar with this, and there's a lot of discussion. It's a very long agenda, and I anticipate that being a very long discussion, and I think it would have a better chance of passing if there was a chance for the newer board members to understand the COP.
I mean, it's up to you. I just think people will be disappointed. So I'm expressing my concern that we figure out how to set and change agenda items with an eye toward the public comments that people think they're making. We shouldn't do this at the last minute.
I agree.
Hi, I apologize for being late. Weather. The discussion is the agenda, and if there's any changes to the agenda?
Correct. So there was a motion put on the floor to adopt the agenda as amended, removing item 11B.
I would support pulling pulling item 11B for the same reasons, in that it's quite a lengthy agenda. There's a lot of information that has required a lot of intense study and taking the time to educate ourselves on. I've spent quite a bit of time myself taking the time to educate myself on things, and I think it would be beneficial to move this down the calendar just a little bit to make sure that we can give it the focus that it needs. In addition, at $23 million, it would be good to be fiscally responsible and make sure we're making a knowledgeable decision rather than a hasty decision. Thank you.
President Perry, I think that at the beginning of the meeting, you should suggest that if students show up, because there are students who are interested in sustainability, that they understand that they can speak to the agenda item as part of agenda items, not on the, public comments, not on the agenda. I just am concerned about students.
I was hoping, I know Mr. Dixon was
And
going to
adults.
try to talk about that, but maybe it didn't work out.
And if I could, because I totally respect and appreciate the fact there might be a lot of questions, but please feel free to send me questions on certificates of participation. I'll work with our financial advisor. I know it can get very technical. And then we also have a lot of information regarding the projects that we can answer, Mr. Zeta and myself. So I'm always happy to provide that information. So by extending the time, please, between now and whenever we can bring it back to the board for approval, please send me those questions.
So, all in favor?
I have one more comment. If we have a couple of items on consent that we would like to pull for either question or to also move, should we wait till consent?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Move to adopt the agenda. Okay, thank you. we're going to vote on pulling item 11B. How many in favor of pulling item 11B? Aye. Aye. Thank you. Passes pulling item 11B. Next, may I have a motion to adopt the agenda except as item 11B?
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Agenda approved. Our Clerk Hills, I guess there are not any,
There are no
nobody's here
public
to
comments.
talk about
Yeah, there are none.
closed session. Okay. May I have a motion to adjourn to closed session? Okay.
So moved.
Okay. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.